Hey, it worked. We're not on mute. What's up? It just took a really long time for some reason. What's up? Hey, thank you for joining us. My name is Ken. I'm your DM for this evening. I will be throwing some people off a mountain. Is that what you guys said in chat? It was I have to throw someone off a mountain? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what chat said.
Dash.
Wait, what? No,
NPC.
Dash is not on a mountain.
I can put Dash on a mountain.
Do not put Dash on a mountain.
All right, so Slate, Westland, and Dash are on a mountain.
No.
Oh, it's not my turn to recap. That actually brings us perfectly into... It was Mr. John, I think. It is your turn to recap today.
That is me.
It is you.
I forgot to mute. There we go. That's much better. It's like, what is that sound? Why can I still hear this? Right. We're ready for a recap.
We're so professional.
We're ready for a recap.
All right, my boy. Time for another chapter of the Wandering Isles. This one's got everything. Storms, serpents, and Dash being thirstier than Gale. Lusting after Tav at camp every day.
Oh, Grandad, this better not turn into a story about kissing.
Children
Dash
sit down around the
kissing?
fire.
I don't want to spoil anything, but that's not going to happen. Or maybe a little.
How's that worse?
Let's skip over that part unless it's absolutely necessary.
We haven't even
Let's
finished.
get to the good stuff.
Haven't finished the intro yet. John, take the inspiration. That was good.
All right, let's see here. Wesleyan and Slate embark on a perilous climb up a mountain so steep it makes your knees ache just thinking about it. And as they climb higher and higher, a fierce storm rolls in, bringing with it a sky serpent that cuts through the clouds with a roar.
Did they run? They must have ran, surely.
Oh, no, they didn't run. They pressed on like brave idiots. But just as they think they might escape the monster, Wesleyan slips. Inconceivable, I know. And he finds himself hanging by a thread on the edge of a cliff. Slate, showing more courage than sense, reaches out and snatches him from the jaws of doom, risking his own life in the process. And then, as suddenly as it began, the storm is gone. The serpent vanishes as if it were never there, leaving behind a sky clear and calm. Exhausted and having likely not learned a valuable lesson, the pair took a rest in front of an ancient temple that's older than your grandma's teapot. Back at the Arcanum, Dash shares some exciting news. His wife, Ulyssa, might be returning, and the vault that they've been investigating could be part of a test.
Did he say wife?
Madriana reveals secret tunnels once used by Ulyssa, and the group sets off to explore them as sneakily as they possibly can.
Except for Dash, though, right?
That's right. As we all know, that Dash does not know how to sneak. Afterwards, Dash has a heart-to-heart with Eos about his father's past. Back on the mountain, Wesleyan and Slate meet Kylus, a winged person with a Wexford accent who is most certainly an Eldritch God demon horror beyond comprehension in disguise. Will Kylus eat Slate and Wesleyan's souls? Will the tunnels lead to the vault? And will Dash ever find true love? Well, that, my boy, that is in the next chapter of The Wandering Isles.
Hot damn, man.
Bravo.
I had no idea you were the VA for Mr. Krabs. I had no idea, man. I always thought it was Clancy Graham.
That's amazing.
You know, John actually did the voiceovers for the Dragon Ball Z intros.
He's going to do the voiceover for every video we do going forward, because that was awesome.
That was
Yeah,
good.
see, I'm not sure if Roper actually got the reference of what John was going for, because he's never seen The Princess Bride.
What? True love, man. It's all about true love.
Ken was in The Princess Bride.
Was
Yeah,
it?
I don't watch my own material, you know?
What, is
He was-
Andre
he
the
was,
Giant?
playing the abbot.
Except for this one I added it. Aces. That was throw me.
Princess Bride
It threw
right
me
there.
with the quality, you know? That's a good
house.
That's a good throwing.
Yep.
Take your inspo. You'll probably need it.
Thank you. No, really?
Joe messaged me earlier, was like, are you up for some fun? I was like, fuck yeah.
Need a grandson.
Need a grandson.
Yeah.
Oh,
Beast,
okay.
be
Oh,
sick.
that's what all that was. I didn't know what the fourth wall smashes were. Okay, I'll watch Princess Bride. I'll put it on my list. It's
Yeah, you have to now. Like it's obligation to understand
Actually,
the reference.
I can give you the reference already. You see Deadpool, didn't you? You know the bit where he's reading the story to the kid in the bed? It's the same clip. It's the same thing. That's what it's taking a piss out
It's the
of.
same kid,
Oh,
right?
awesome.
It's the same guy.
Yeah, Fred Savage.
Yeah. Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
Yeah.
Cool name.
That was the whole joke.
Nice. I'm in.
Oh man. Like Flynn?
I'm in it like Flynn. Yeah. All right. All right. Okay. What the fuck? Where are we? Seriously, where do we stop? Oh, we just, yeah, the guy from Wexford on the thing. Right. Got it. Yeah, I apologize for any Irish people in chat who I offend with my accent. The only way I can get in like my mode is, you know, the way actors sometimes they have those words and sentences that pull them in. Every time I'm just sitting there quietly like, they think we can stop what we do. I doubt it. Every single time I'm just sitting there just singing that over and over again in my head.
I thought you were going to say potato.
Potato.
Oh, those kids are great. I love those
Man,
kids.
these streams are great. It's a shame we just got banned.
Don't worry, it's only banned in Ireland. Everywhere else is showable.
Yeah.
Editor.
It's an RTE property. It's fine.
Cut this
It's
out
fine.
of the upload. Okay.
We paid for the TV licenses.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll jump in. We will continue on the mountain.
And now we're banned in France.
I was going to pick a different accent that I was going to say I was going for, but it's too
really
much for my brain to do.
All right, governor.
All right, governor. It's the peaky.
Can I get a glass of water?
Oh shit! All right, we've all right. Global ban. Got it.
We're just going to do a whole stream of offensive accents.
Okay, we're in. We're in. We have begun.
Oh, God.
We're in. So, Westland and Slate, and Dash for some reason, you are on the head of the mountain in a temple, and you've been approached by an entity of a different typing than you have probably ever seen before. This gentleman is here in front of you. A little less happy looking, but overall a calm and nice demeanor, which is kind of probably a good thing considering you're in his home.
So this is your home?
Sort of, yeah. We'll get through this, guys. Don't worry. This accent will. I'll kill this character in 20 minutes. It's fine.
Good to know. All right, let's draw our weapons. Roll initiative. What do you mean by sort of? Are you vacationing here?
Something like that. Yeah. It's me home.
Can we stay and rest?
You can rest. I imagine getting here wasn't easy. Can you rest with that? What the hell was that? Who swore? Did we just get did we get bleeped? You can rest if you want to, but how did you get here?
The mountain? Do people not climb the mountain?
Not in a long time.
I think with difficulty is the short answer.
It's been a long time. Well, best offer you some food. He opens the door and there's a grand hall that's there and the table's set. There's a meal. There's pretty much any food you can think of is there, and yeah, it's a delicious looking thing. There's drinks, there's food, there's booze if you want it. There's barking dogs. There's a lot. Yeah. Whilst this isn't typically what you would imagine to be a tourist destination, this place looks well served for many guests. Do you guys want to?
Is anyone else coming? No one else is coming?
Not that I'm aware.
Do you normally eat this much?
I don't typically eat, to be honest.
What is Chicken doing?
Chicken is still exploring. That's a good question. Chicken is still exploring the halls, and sort of living his best life. He doesn't seem alarmed or scared of this place. He's chill. Probably in chicken fashion, you would look over at some point and he's just eating roast chicken that he has found somewhere.
In our last session, you mentioned that Chicken was sniffing around, and there was specifically no dirt and there was no dust being kicked up, and it gave the impression, you mentioned something about, that no time had passed because dust hadn't gathered, etc. And then, from the outside, obviously we saw this temple building, whatever, before we entered. Now we've entered into a chamber, which is then opened into another hall. Can I just check, is this reflective of the size we saw outside? In other words, does this look like a room that was contained within, or have we gone into something small and then they've opened up this door and something massive is inside that doesn't look like it should have been inside from the outside? Does that make sense?
The latter. Yeah, the latter.
Okay. I'm very visibly apprehensive at this, and I will turn to Weslin and kind of
You cannot turn down hospitality. It would be rude. I'll go into the other room and
follow.
Survey the table and the spread. Pour a drink. I don't think it really matters what it is, just something cold and frothy. Cold. Something cold.
Sure.
Have a sit.
As you begin to partake in the food, Weslin, at least, you would begin to feel good. In terms of Weslin and what he experiences and what he feels really healthy. Probably healthier than he has in a long time. But John, the player, you should be aware that your Weslin, if he has any, is cured of all diseases, poisons, immune to poison, and immune to being frightened. And you have wisdom saving throw advantage for the next 24 hours. Your hit point maximum also increases by 2d10, so please roll 2d10 for me.
That.
While he's rolling that, would it be fair to say if Slate, he went straight for the food and started having this food and he's feeling happier, healthier, sated among all these other things?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing.
What I was going to say is, before I have any, would how he's feeling, considering he was on death's door almost in terms of how he looked, how he felt, how slow he was walking, would this change be apparent to Slate, having yet to partake, seeing him shoveling all this into him? Would it be apparent that he seems to have a bit more vigor, seems to be a bit happier, sitting up straighter, less tired, this type of thing? Would there be anything visual that could be perceived?
I'll defer to John with this, but if it's mild, I would say there would need to be an insight check. But if it's very clear and obvious, because of course Weslin is rather older now and has just experienced climbing a mountain and stuff, so if all of that restoration for him is making him feel better than he's felt before, that's then it's probably something that might be a little bit more obvious. So John, I would let you answer that question rather than myself.
What season is it here?
Oh, that's a trick question, because it's
storm season.
Oh, I mean, it's technically, as in the world, the same season, but it's very bright and calm, and the weather's not like what you just experienced. But seasonally, I would say you're still in the same season, if that makes sense.
We're still in autumn.
Yeah.
Then it would be subtle. It wouldn't be all that particularly dramatic. he sits up more straight. The redness of the markings, the redness of the impact on his face underneath the new blue marks fades. Is it more like a light reflection in his eyes? He very ever so slightly regrows a little bit of hair on the top of his head.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the lighter color deepens in color. There's a bit more richness in that appearance.
Do you want me to roll to have perceived any of that, like the hair change or anything like that?
Yeah, I would say at this point you probably need to roll.
Yeah.
For that, yeah. We'll go with insight anyway. We'll focus on his emotional state rather than his physical appearance. The physical appearance is clear. Yeah.
Based on my experience of, shall we say, watching magically prepared food and studying it in my room, this is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the rolls are the same this week. That's good to know.
As a bet. Not one.
It's hard to tell, but you might be a little bit overwhelmed by the senses of just all the food and everything that's in the room. It may not be as easy to just focus on Westland because you weren't expecting his demeanor to change. So, but you notice his physical demeanor changing, sure. But whether or not that's normal or weird or not is up to you. But you notice when people change, you yourself are able to do that. So that would, to me, I would say that's a freebie for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say, being practically on death's door from start to finish with the climb and just about making it here, and everything that was given, used, consumed, cast, etc. to get here, and then all of a sudden having this person appear and all of this, I would say that I'm very much distracted and so for now I will just take in the room, stand close to Wesleyan, and just be in awe of everything that's happening at the moment.
I am in the face of grandeur, just like totally like way over the top. Sure. I mean, there's a lot to take in here. Chicken is definitely starting to get a nose for what's on the table, and starts pulling food down and eating it and doing stuff. But Kellis doesn't seem perturbed or upset by that. He has a chuckle at it. Like he seems very like happy about it. Like it's fun. It's funny.
Sorry, he usually has his own. I hope it's all right.
There's more than enough. Yes.
There's not more coming?
We'll see. I live in hope.
Hope that more will come?
Yes. I've been alone for a long time.
How long has that been?
Oof. Well, long before the fracture. Yeah, it must be 2,000 years.
Been alone for 2,000 years.
I've had the odd guest. There was one that helped me build the temple. Stella. She was nice. And occasionally people wander up, but not too much.
After hearing him say that he's been there for 2,000 years and, telling this story, it's like when you go to your granny's house, whatever, and they put biscuits in front of you, and you're like, I don't know if they're stale, I don't know if I want them, I don't know how long they've been there. And then after a while, you get that kind of go on. So I'll take something from the table that I think is small, just like oh, this is lovely, just because I'm like, oh, did you prepared all this in 2,000 years? And you know, Weslin's comment of it would be rude not to. So I will take something small just to be like, oh, lovely.
Your physical appearance would take more of a change than his. Hair grows, blonde, beautiful hair grows on your head. Your skin becomes almost pink, or Caucasian, as they say, but almost a sort of pinky hue. Your muscle tone is just, it's good and healthy, and probably for the first time ever, Westlin would be able to see like a proper person there rather than the amalgamation of everyone that you've ever been, if that makes sense. Like all of these fighting things, but you just look like hey, look 2% more handsome than Dash. How's that?
I'm gonna say the second that all of this starts to happen, whatever it is, it's like the first time a child has candy, like, oh, what's this? Oh, this is just a second it goes, and like, oh my god, and then I'm just gonna start going full throttle on everything. Just trying to take a little bit of everything, trying to try it all.
No
Manners
worries.
out the window completely, knocking stuff over, spilling things, just absolutely going ham on it.
No worries. As you do and as you eat, obviously same thing. So if you have any diseases or poisons, they're cured. You're immune to poison and being frightened. And you make all wisdom saving throws with advantage for the next 24 hours. And I need you to roll 2d10, please. Nine. Perfect.
Has that creature ever come up here? The
Wait, which?
cloud creature, one that lives in the storm.
No. That's more of a protector.
Does he protect against?
Those who don't have good intentions.
How does he know?
That's a difficult question. I suppose
I had a
in some
dog
ways-
like that. Always used to know.
I suppose he in some way can read your soul.
Weston seems satisfied with that. Digs into the meal.
I
Pours
really want
another
a
drink.
shirt that just says Westland seems satisfied by that. Like, I just want that. That's fine. That was such a clean way to say that. Yeah, absolutely. And as the meal goes on, there is like a silence. He's not progressing with the conversation. He seems more content to just have people here. He seems rather like a social creature, and this is a nice moment for him to have that social life that he hasn't had in quite a long time.
Why don't you come down?
Well, it's not really my place. He says as he chokes on his coffee. It's my place to be here and to wait.
What are you waiting for?
You know, I don't actually know. But I think I will. Hopefully. I just know I'm supposed to be here.
What is it you do here?
Well, for about 1,000 years I dusted. But that got a bit boring after a while, you know. I wait. There's something is coming. And when that happens, this is where I'll need to be. You know, when you pop out to the market and somebody knocks at your door, you're not at home, you come back and they're gone. You've missed that moment. I don't want to miss this moment. So I wait.
How would you know?
I suppose you always just know, don't you?
Maybe. You can see the future. Maybe I can help you.
Tell me what it's like, life outside of here.
I look to Slate.
I put my face in my sleeve, crumbs and food and everything. It's just sort of, yeah, you know. And then I'm gonna stand up from the table, step away from the table on purpose, and I'm gonna gesture to Weslin to play the lute and see, or his pan flute, whatever he may have. I'm gonna gesture for him to do that, and then I'm just gonna, like a stage performance, sort of clear my throat, clear the stuff from around me, get a little space, and kind of look to him, look back from the two guys like I'm waiting to start, waiting for his musical cue.
Yeah, I'll see full performance, I guess, on the
Go for it.
it's
Yeah.
handpipe. It's gonna be great. Impromptu.
That's amazing.
Wow. That's that 20.
Damn, that isn't it. I don't know why it's not green, but it is a net 20.
And then I will do, for a roll of 13, I will currently, quite quickly, every 3 to 4 seconds, shapeshift into anyone I've ever met. So he's getting a quick glimpse of loads of different people, their shapes, their sizes, their mannerisms, and I'm just, so it's just like a stop motion, if you know what I mean. I keep changing to people, so I'm giving them snapshots of different races, different heights, different weights, all these different things. So he's getting a visual representation of what it's like down there, like a silent movie, but to Weslin's tunes rather than anybody speaking.
Hell yeah. That's nice. Okay. Yeah, as you go through this sort of menagerie of people, it's a really cool kind of experience, and one that I don't think he was expecting. No, that's dope. Yeah, I really like that. And Westlin, what do you do to top that?
I am playing a song of the summer.
Oh, nice.
A song about love and dancing and making babies.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, you guys go into that kind of I don't know what to call it, but it's like it is a performance. And as you go through that performance, you guys are nailing it. Like, it's a good back and forth, and like where like Slate might veer off a little bit and try some things, Westlin, you're just on point and you just pull it back in, and you guys make like the performance of your lives. It's awesome. It's very, very good.
The greatest song ever?
Yeah, but they won't remember what it was when they get back, so instead it'll just be a tribute.
Just be a tribute.
Yeah.
Sorry, right?
Chasing that dragon. Always chasing that dragon.
There's only one fucking tribute. Leave it alone.
This is the newest, greatest song in the world, all right?
Absolutely. That's too rough. Hell yeah. It's an unbelievable performance, to say the least. I don't know if there's anything you guys particularly want to bring up in terms of themes or elements in your performance because the question was like, what is life like down there, right? And while you go through this performance, and while Slate is going through these, this sort of menagerie of people, like, is there a theme or an element that you guys are trying to bring to this to show him?
I think, based on him telling us how long he's been alone, based on how he's been a gracious host, and he's fed us surprisingly good food that's had an amazing effect, and he's been warm, welcoming, etc. I think rather than like someone telling a story that has an ebb and a flow and it has a beginning, middle, and end, and it might have a roller coaster of emotion, I think I would just be going for the happy arc, just going for not quite your Charlie Chaplin-esque, but just that kind of a fun, enjoyable, carefree, pleasant vibe to match what he's given us, not there to as such bring him down. I think any moments of warmth that I might have either A, participated in, or B, seen, it would be mimicking those kind of things, like, waving to people and hugs and this and that and things like that, making it really warm but accessible, telling a story without actually having a particular point, if you know what I mean. Right. So I think that would be the vibe or the energy to give back what we've been given and to keep us on that vibe.
Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. 100%. Yeah, I like that a lot. And what about you, Westlin? Is there anything that you're specifically trying to convey with this?
Just trying to match his energy on the visual storytelling and giving it a backdrop. The playing of the music and the atmosphere, the food, the strange spaces in which we have found ourselves, is something that I think he's losing himself into a little bit for a moment, as it's for the first time in months now that there has been a sudden shift. Things are a little more surreal. There's almost a bit of relief in his expression as he leans into the music. It is a space that he has not been in a while. Despite the season, it is a comfort.
And how is it for you when you're playing, right? Because at the moment you're older. You did just climb a mountain, but like, you are older and experiencing this. Is it a different vibe for you to play music now, or does it still just, is it the opposite? It brings you back into a younger state?
I mean, it's a song of the summer, one of many songs that we played in the summer, around fires and during the long days, during the very early mornings. I think he loses himself in it a little bit, given, again, the space, the food, the effects of the food. Slate doing weird things with his new pink body. It's
his new pink body.
His new pink body, and all that luscious hair.
Yeah.
It's it's like that moment at a music festival when perhaps you've indulged a bit too much on whatever it is that you have indulged in, and you're no longer necessarily aware of where you are. You are more aware of the taste of the music. Kind of lost in it.
Yeah.
Nice.
While
this is happening, there's something I'd like to add. So, as I was partaking in the food and the frothy cold alcohol, as Wesley found on the table, in a similar vein of indulgence, feeling that I suppose you let your guard down. You know, you talk about your inhibitions or whatever, so your guard goes down. What I'd like to do is take off my backpack, and I have decided to emulate a children's game to see the effect it has on him. So what I want to do is do minor illusion on the bag and put it in the middle of the floor between the three of us, so we're standing in like a triangle. The bag's in the middle, and I want to make it look like a big box, like a wrapped present with minor illusion. And I want to use Mage Hand to start taking out items out of my bag and giving them to each of us round robin style. So, for example, my bag has various bric-a-brac like ball bearings, a bell, you know, a hooded lantern. So therefore, as such, each one of us is getting a random gift or whatever is coming out of the bag until everything comes out of the bag, until I have 2 remaining, and we each have a small pile of randomness. And the point of it is more just to be silly, to have the fun of it, but also I feel like he might enjoy this, so I'm doing this to push the boat out and to try and see. You know, sometimes you make a joke and it hits homes, and sometimes it absolutely doesn't, and it's one of those, it seems like a good idea at the time. So I'm just going to put these into chat for anybody that wants to see them, and then what I want to do finally is I want to walk up to him with one thing in each hand and tell him he has a choice, basically, like left hand, right hand, and have something. I have something in each hand, and I'm going to let him choose his left hand or right hand as such.
Okay. So he is supposed to choose, as in.
Yeah. So I'm going to go over a couple of feet from him and just stand with my hands out, and like, so he picks this hand or this hand, and I've got something in each hand, and whichever he picks, I'm going to give him.
Right, according to my coin flip.
Okay, in which case I reveal my left hand, which is the dragon snaps that I got previously.
Oh, cool.
And I show them and put them away, and then I open his hand gently and put into it the stinky stone. I don't do anything with it, I just place it into his hand. And then kind of like bow and step back, and then there's like, you know, little fireworks and stuff because the game is over, it's finished, the presents, and then I start using Mage Hand to put back in all the shit into my bag, all the random accoutrement that came out, and that's the end of the game, and he's won the big prize of a stinky stone.
He looks at it, but like there's no disgust on his face or even disdain. He's so happy. He loves this thing. It's so cool. He has his own stinky stone. This is a good day. This is a great day. Not often people come up here at all, let alone bring a gift of a stinky stone. So this is a tremendous moment for him, and one that he shall remember for the next billion years that he stands here or whatever. And
then just to finish it off, seeing his joy and excitement, and I'm now finished with my party trick, I would go over thirsty and pick up a flag and a goblet, whatever they are on the table, to start to have one. I presume Wesley had been drinking, so presumably I would gesture for him to have more of his, and I would pick one up and offer it to him. So we all have one, should he wish to take it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, he'll like, if you're offering it to him, he'll join you. There's no question about it. This is like, he's excited to have people here. He's going deep. Like, he's drinking.
Yeah. What did you dream of before you came to this place?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. What is a dream?
It is the thing that you see and do when you are not awake. It is the collection of light and shadow that lingers at the edge of your memory. Do you not dream?
I don't sleep. Is it a requirement?
Have you always been it this way?
Always is a bit of a relative term, but as long as I can remember, yes.
You've not slept once in 2,000 years?
There was one time I thought I might be asleep, but I was just sitting.
Interesting. Do you remember anything before you came here?
A little. But I think my purpose for being here is all I'm supposed to remember. Although I don't know what it is, I know that I am meant to be here.
Then this is the dream that you are remembering. That would make sense. I will raise a beer to him.
To dreams!
The dreams.
Clinks the little glass.
How long can we stay?
Well, that was my question. How long do you want to stay?
So we are rested enough to go back down the mountain. It was difficult to get up. I am amazed that we are not in our next dream.
What does that mean?
The only way that I can explain it, really. I have thrown myself off mountains before, and thrown off mountains before.
Now, that's new. In all my time, nobody said that to me. Are you made of some sort of rubber, is it?
No, there is a crunch. You know, you feel and remember that sound when you hit the rock below, but then you're in a field or you're in the sky, you're a cloud.
I would probably suggest not doing that, maybe.
Well, I mean, it didn't happen, so it's fine. Like, I was just worried that it was going to happen. Wanted to know what was up here before, this dream came to an end. Hopefully not from, of course, impacting the rock. But
is it always this mountain?
I've not seen a mountain with a cloud and an angry cloud snake, storm snake, whatever that was.
He's harmless. It's like a puppy.
Can I pet that dog?
You can try.
Let's go pet the dragon.
They never did see Westland again.
That's right. Dumb ways to die. Yeah. Just maybe a day to recover, rest, sleep. Maybe you can show us around. this place?
Well, yes. If you'd like. He walks around and there's just like a lot of rooms. More than you guys can probably even see forever, eternity. It's a like I'm trying to figure out how much I want to say about this. There's something familiar about it. It's not the first time in your lives that either of you have experienced somewhere like this. The school also has this capability. And there might be a slight realization that this whole system could be part of one thing. The same energy, the same feeling, and in some ways the same creators. It is the way you would look at a building by the same architect and then see another one somewhere else. You would get the same energy. It feels the same. Even if it doesn't look the same, this one looks more Celtic. But the feeling and the style and the way things are, you can't mask that.
You have been a kind and generous host. Thank you for your hospitality.
He's happy and he smiles, but he's very like in his element. He's so boisterous and talking about every room and like, oh, this is where I come to sit, and this is also where I come to sit, and then he just talks about like the 50 other rooms where he comes to sit. But there are a lot of these different like grand like areas that look like, you know, very impressive places, dining halls, like bedrooms. Like it has kind of a little bit of everything. There's libraries, but when you open the books, none of them are in a language that any of you understand. There's just content amongst content. You could run a whole campaign in this building. There's a lot to do here, and maybe we will. There's a lot. It's a very impressive structure.
Slate and Wes break into a game of D&D.
They open a door and like just like the rest of the group that haven't talked in a while are all just sitting in there playing, yeah, like D&D or something. One of those Deadpool background cameos. They open the door and they just close it again. Everything is here. Like it's an impressive place, to the point where it becomes tiresome to look at room after room after room, because there's only so much that you can really and truly explore without it being the same.
On that note, getting that feeling and that vibe, I'd like to turn to him and ask, how long do people usually stay here?
Well, it depends, I suppose. Those who have made it up here usually ask similar questions to yourselves, and then they get tired, they sleep, they get up, and they leave.
And to have many of them come back?
Not usually.
As your friends?
No. The only one who ever really came back a few times was Stella. She was good.
And
long dead by now, I imagine.
Did she come up the same way as us, or is there another way? Perhaps even an easier way?
Oh, you mean this elevator right here? No. No. It's usually a difficult journey, one filled with peril, so it's not... I understand that people may not want to do it, you know, willy-nilly.
I'm very much enjoying my time here, and when we leave, I would very much like to return.
I would hope you do. That would be nice. I don't know if it helps. I can get you home. If that's what you've been needing.
And obviously we have yet to rest, but if you were to do that, what would that look like for us?
A lot like Westland's dreams, but without the crunch. Hopefully.
Is that why some of them don't always come back?
You know, I'm thinking about it now. That could be it. Yeah, that could be it. Maybe I'm just throwing people off the mountain, yeah.
Great.
The urge to make that canon.
Ends concentration after 6 seconds because you forget.
Is it possible? Eos always says that there are some books that should not be touched, and some books that we are not ready to touch. Are there books like that here?
Yes, of course. There are ones that even I have not touched.
Is it because you cannot?
It's because I don't want to.
Why?
Scared the shite out of me. Can I say that on stream?
Can I see that book?
Sure. He leads you through the back of the library, and he opens this sort of like this kind of back door that's there. It's this kind of old wooden just wooden door. As the door opens, there's pretty much no light in here. It's dim, dark. There are a few sconces that light the room, but the darkness almost seems to overwhelm it. He shows the back of the room. He points to it, and there's a book that's resting against the wall, dead center. Doesn't seem to be supported by any kind of structure. It is mostly a black book, except for a metallic, broken, fractured skull that sits in the middle of it.
This book scares you?
It's pretty ominous. I'm not gonna lie.
Why is it here?
Why wouldn't it be?
May I read it?
If you can. Stella tried the same once, and not really sure what happened then.
I did not know about books or reading until this stream. I have touched many books since I woke.
Well, just be careful. You seem nice. Be ashamed to ruin that.
Has no idea what that means. We'll approach the book.
I'm gonna
He
step
doesn't
in
cross the
front
threshold
of.
of the room at all.
I'm gonna step in front of Weslin, and I'm gonna put my hand out to not to stop him, but like to not to physically touch him, but just to halt his advance for a moment, and then I'm going to start to ritually cast Identify, which means I'm going to physically touch the book. I'm not going to open it, but I'm going to touch the cover and cast Identify. We will see what happens.
Not to derail this, as I almost always do, but when you said I'm going to stop him and you put your hand out, I just went back to Obsidian and I was like, stop! You violated the law! Like, I thought that's what was coming. I was really waiting for it. Yeah, you place your hand on the book to... Are you ritually... You said you're ritually casting it, is it?
Ritually casting, yeah, so it takes a bit longer.
Ritually casting.
Son of a bitch. Just take your inspiration and get the fuck out of my campaign. No problem. You place your hand on the book. And for no reason at all, there's going to be a music shift. Don't worry about it. I'm sure everything's fine. You place your hand on the book, and there's an overwhelming darkness. The room is gone, and you are standing alone, just you and your hand on the book. Westland, what you see is Slate's skin begin to change to a dark, ebony, and then almost venta black material. As the book creeps along his skin. It doesn't look external. It looks internal.
Hello. Who might you be?
A voice billows in the back of your mind. Like a hand grabbing the back of your brain, you feel it clawing at you, Slate.
I think in the moment, my mind would go to, yeah, I should turn into somebody else and say that I'm them. But before I'm able to do that,
my name is Dash Hyman, and my address is.
Before I'm able to follow on with that thought, I suppose I'm thrown by everything that's happened versus who I was with a moment ago to where is this, what is this, what's happening. It doesn't make sense. So I suppose I stall for a couple of seconds while I'm trying to figure out what to do next. There's just a pause because my brain is racing and I'm trying to go through the options of what just happened, who is this, what's happening, where am I? And I think I would end up just saying, who are you?
Are you frightened of me?
Should I be?
Scared? You have begun sweating. Your heart rate increases.
To be fair, I did just climb a big ass mountain.
Time is relative. I'm not sure if you just climbed anything anymore. But I can catch up.
And with that, you get the most earth-shattering headache. Like, it is incredible. You feel like tendrils are pushing into your brain. Your skull feels like it's just going to fracture. There's no sense of love from whatever this is. There is just intrusion, invasiveness. Your mind and body just belong to this moment, and there's not really anything that you can do about it. Westland, for the first time, against his will, you hear Slate scream in agony.
He's touching the book, he's turned black, and he's screaming?
Yeah. I don't think he can help it.
And I would add that while I tried to change form a moment ago and it didn't, I would suggest it probably did, I just didn't feel it. And now I would say to you, I would look like the small child that he's taken form of before.
To you, everything becomes third person, and you see yourself shape-shift into the child in this scenario, in this situation. But for Westland, you're still just Slate.
Wasn't really sure what to do. He's never had this kind of reaction to touching a book before.
Fair.
No books. I mean, maybe Slate's just allergic.
Could be.
Maybe he's having a... I've never seen Slate read a book.
This is true.
Maybe this is another thing that we can teach each other here. I'm going to grab his shoulders.
Sure. And as you do, it doesn't have the impact that you would want or believe. instead of you pulling Slate back to you, he pulls you to him. You can now hear the voice. And in the third-person perspective of this situation that you have, your tattoos become black. Very painfully and very slowly. This is intense.
Already lost summer. Let's lose an autumn. I will attempt to grit my teeth and push through the pain. But we're also hovering third person. Do I see him third person as a child? Or do I see Slate and myself behind Slate?
You would see Slate probably in his child self now that he was describing, as you are now within the same, we'll call it ethereal space that he is. Yeah.
Can I speak? Can Slate hear me? Or is he just screaming?
You... Yeah, I would say you can speak to him, Slate. At this point, the pain is still there, but you are getting used to it, if anything. The probing hasn't started on Westland, not to say that it won't, but for Slate, for sure. You are on the other side of that for the moment.
Based on what I was trying to achieve, which is obviously unknowingly touching the book was going to pull me to where I am, and I'm experiencing what I am. Obviously, my intention was to gain information around the book. Mm-hmm. Is this happening while I'm like, does this count as mid-cast, if you get me, through my identify? Or in other words, has any information come to my mind in conjunction with any of this? Have I gleaned anything from some of the things that I can gain from identify? Do I have any of that in the back of my mind as I decide what to do next, is basically what I'm looking for.
In the rules of 5e, if a ritual cast is interrupted, you would have to start over. So because you're ritually casting, you would not have that information at the moment.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's what I wanted to clarify. Perfect. I think my immediate reaction would be to try and escape, get away, break free, open my eyes, wake up, whatever permutation you can think of. I would be racing through one after the other in rapid succession, trying to find anything that gives me traction, that seems to be changing how I'm feeling, what I'm experiencing. Like I said, trying to pinch myself and wake up, trying to move away, trying to rejoin my body if I'm watching it. You know what I mean? Anything I can think of to try and disrupt whatever this is, because we were having an amazing time 5 minutes ago. We were drinking, partying, there was fireworks, and it was lovely, and there was like presents and everything was super, and we were feeling great. This sucks, and I want out.
Sounds like college parties. Always someone shits the bed.
Yep.
Always go home before 2 a.m.
It's always a smart way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
When are we?
Can I hear this?
Yeah, you can.
The future.
Slate, this time it's your turn to hear your friend scream out in absolute writhing agony and pain as Westland suddenly feels all of this power within him suddenly scrape his mind for the same thoughts that had scraped yours. At this point, I need a wisdom saving throw from both of you. You know, in like Elden Ring, when you go to an area that's like a lot higher level than you're ready for, something just reminds me of that. I'm not sure what that is.
The 12.
8 from Wesleyan. 8 from Westland. 18 from Westland. Oh my god.
Oh, 8 would be bad.
8 would be bad. 18 from Westland, 12 from Slate. In that case, Slate, it's you that he retains most of this information from.
We are kindred spirits.
Oh, what happened there? Did we lose our voices? We did. My bad.
Oh, he's a pilot.
It's amazing.
Lazarus.
We are kindred spirits. Neither of us quite know where we are. Why are you so afraid? You've never met anything like me before. At least not that you know of.
I've met a lot of things that I learned to be afraid of. And I feel like you might just be another one of those.
Now. We could be best friends. I'm sure there's a lot that we can do for each other.
Slade starts thinking about his book. Go on.
Behind walls built in your brain lies stories and secrets that you don't even know. Don't you want to know who you are? Slate.
That's a good trick. Starts checking his clothes for a name tag.
He forgot that he was wearing his like work badge on the he did the security job today and there's just like Slate on his uniform. Yeah. The longer he speaks to you, there's a weird sense of ease coming over you. I love watching Rory during some of this because it's always like he's giving reactions, but he's on mute, so he's like, no. It's always so good.
I gotta stay on mute, brother. The amount of shit you hear from me.
I love watching your reactions, man. Sorry, mostly.
I think the longer we talk, like you said, I'm feeling calmer. That focus had shifted over to Wesleyan, and at the time the extreme pain must have focused to him because he started screaming and I stopped. So am I currently feeling a lot of pain during this, or just feeling calm and that's it?
Not anymore. You're starting to feel calm and serenity. The pain begins to feel good. Wesleyan, on the other hand, you are still not giving this even a second thought. Like, you just want to get the fuck out of here. This is not where you want to be.
Back to the thorns.
I'm going to...
It's hard to tell for Wesleyan, but somewhere in the back of his mind, he might think this is a witch's book.
Wonder why.
I think if you get me knowing what I know and knowing that I know I don't know certain things, my curiosity would definitely have been piqued thinking about the yin and yang of possibly where we are and the great outcome I've just had from conversing and leaning into what happened in the other room. the thought crosses my mind that perhaps this is the same thing. It's something that I just need to lean into to get the experience and not lean out of that I tried. So in a tentative way, I would relax a little and ask, tell me something that you know of me.
Which you?
I guess I'll leave that to you.
Well, I can tell that you don't want to be here. And I don't just mean with me. You're struggling. You just want to know who you are and make sense of the puzzles within your brain. And there's nothing wrong with that. I can tell you that Dr. Harrow deserves the fear you feel in your heart. Because although you don't remember, I do. And I can tell you
Okay, I need to roll a dice. Bear with me. Thresholds are about to be crushed.
Roll a dice in this game?
Brian, for your logs, that was a nat 20.
Rory.
I can tell you that the answers you're looking for lie near the home of a companion of yours. You and Dash were closer than you ever realized. But don't worry. Stick with me and I'll help you find everything you need to know. Take me from here and I'll give you everything you're looking for, Elias.
Am I still, if you, as you explained it, above myself, watching myself in this moment, or how am I?
This feels very third person, an outer body experience of sorts. But to find out how good you feel about it, I will probably need a wisdom saving throw from both of you, please.
At advantage because of the food that we forgot last time.
Sorry, yes, you're absolutely right.
Is true.
Thank you, Ryan.
In fairness, it was Kian that remembered and asked me about it.
Oh, sorry, you're absolutely right.
I was like, I want to say something, but I don't know if it's metagaming.
No, it's not metagaming. It's 100% because if I forget something, tell me that I've forgotten to do it.
Dirty 20.
I figured the guys should remember themselves.
It's true.
I was busy just being willing to fail. Yeah.
We're also intoxicated, so you know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So double disadvantage. No,
yeah.
You guys are both more like yourselves. Your calm is wearing away, Slate, but Westland, your calm was never there. So in that sense, you don't have to worry too much about any sort of changes in character arc. But for Slate, you're feeling more intimidated and yourself, like you feel like this is wrong. The sway that was pulling you is not pulling you right now.
So when you say the sway that was pulling me, you would say that, obviously you said the calming feeling, much less calm, but that sense of, shall we call it, the invitingness, the willingness, that kind of feeling. Is that kind of what you mean would be dissipating, perhaps?
Yeah, like you are, there's this almost realization of just like, why am I so calm with this? Why does this feel okay? That doesn't feel right. Like you are now resisting that pull.
Coming out of a brain fog and your brain is clicking into gear like you just woke up, and then your brain goes, whoa, hold on a second.
Without pushing too hard on like metagaming and stuff, you do feel like it wouldn't take much persuasion for you to permanently feel that way. If you can't resist that sensation for long enough, there may be no going back from that.
Having pulled back, or having this momentary, consciousness, for lack of a better way of calling it, Wesley and I were able to see and hear each other. So has that kind of returned, that we're back to that space currently?
Yeah, neither of you are writhing or screaming in pain, which is helpful.
So then I would turn to Wesley, and I think I would be somewhere between laughing and crying at the same time, just emotionally overwhelmed, and turn to him and say, I don't know what's happening. I think I need to get out of here.
Trick to freeing yourself from thorns, Slate, is to roll down the hill. It always hurts. You'll always be cut by them. But eventually you'll find yourself where there are no more thorns. You just have to be willing to push through them. You have to let go of it.
I can also release you. You just have to take me with you. A simple task.
Do I hear that, or do we both?
Both.
This voice familiar?
Not at all. Maybe in the sense of it was probably the voice modulator I used before, but not to Wesley.
Just checking. Always looking for that voice. How long have you been here?
Since she put me here.
Who is she?
He doesn't want to say her name.
And then I just say, Stella?
He lets out this kind of guttural...
I'm going to turn to Wesley and say, because I don't know what he's experienced versus what I've experienced. I just know that I have the clarity now that I'm going to say to him, it's the book. The book wants us to take it with us.
Ao says that some books can't be taken from libraries. Some books are not allowed.
I'd like to speak to her. Take me to her, and your job is done.
I don't know if she can climb a mountain. Her horse is not really good at that.
My book is not bound to this mountain. Take me with you. You're going home anyway. Think of what I can bring to both of you.
Where's Callus? Can we see Callus?
As you look around, you don't see him, no.
Some conversations are better had in private.
When I return to the top of this mountain, I will have an answer for you.
You don't have to exhaust yourself on my behalf. Simply pick up the book, put it in a backpack, and forget about it.
And what of the Watcher?
What of him?
That he'll just allow this.
I can be very persuasive. I know a lot more about your past. Aren't you curious? And
It's
Westland,
the only reason I'm still talking to you.
I can help figure out those dreams for you. Put them in order. All I ask is simply to go with you on an adventure you're already taking. One day, and I'll give you what you seek in return.
The only way out of the thorns, Slate, is to roll through them. And though they may cut you, you will eventually find your way out. And I'm going to fall backwards, got my hands on him, see if I can just like
Wisdom saving
pull him
throw.
with me.
Advantage.
For both or just for him?
Both of
Both of
us.
you, but I need it more specifically from West on this, but both of you, yeah.
19.
An advantage as well because of the feast
Correct,
or whatever, yeah. So nat 20.
That's when he'll do it. As he goes to whisper more words, you feel a pull as Westland places his hands on you, and believe me, thorns was an understatement. It feels like skin is being flayed and peeled from your flesh. It feels like the tendons and joints are being ripped from your body. It feels like what was once just a feeling of normality will never be again, as agony courses through both of you. There's almost a pull against you, Westland, bringing you back in, back through the thorns. And then you feel a hand on both of your shoulders, and the pain begins to fade away as you get pulled back out and awaken within the hallway in the main library outside of this room, with Callus looking up, eyes glowing, wings fully spread out. What felt like minutes to you was but 12 seconds in reality. He ran in and tried to help, but until Westland pulled you free, there was nothing that he could do. You're both laying on the floor.
Am I still... Is the ink still black?
It is, but it's very, very slowly fading back to blue.
And is
Well-
Slate marked?
You're lucky you ate the meal. There are no major marks that are left. A powerful healing spell was cast on both of you, but it is taking a very long time for those wounds to heal.
What happens if the book leaves here?
I'm not sure. She just told me to keep it safe. Never said I couldn't interact with it. I don't like the vibe.
Keep it safe, as in unopened? Keep it safe, as in keep it here? Like, what does keep it safe mean?
Yeah, I do wish she specified.
Dreams are never clear. There's always something that you don't always catch.
A lot of the instructions I get were very, you know, you'll know when you know.
Has anybody ever taken the book from here?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't
Or
look at
a
it.
piece of the book?
I don't know.
Can I take a piece of the book?
I can't stop you. Or can I? I'm not sure. I won't stop you.
I look at Weslin.
Eos always says you can't take pages out of the book, even if you like the feel of them more than the others.
Flashback to Westland just sitting in the library trying to rip a page out, and Eos just slapping his hand with a ruler.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah. Are there books here about that book?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't even know what that book is. Could be. It's hard to know what you don't know. Not that I'm aware of.
Or is that the only book that talks?
I wasn't even really aware that one talked, to be honest with you. I could have had a good conversation for a long time. A bit disappointed in that now.
I'm turned facing the book, literally as I am, hand on chin, just deep in thought, standing close, but not too close, but definitely not far from the book, just staring at the book.
Just be warned, I'm not sure that I can recover you from that again. At least not until I take some sort of long rest.
Can we stay here for a few days?
Sure. There's 2 bedrooms already waiting for you down the hall.
Westland nods.
As you look around Westland, Chicken is not in this library. He's waiting outside the main library door. He won't come near this space. I say he. It won't come near this space.
Do you know something about this book, Chicken?
Chicken lies down on its belly and the ears are low.
I wanted to cast Identify on it. I wanted to understand something about it. And obviously, it took a lot for us to separate from it. But I wonder if we work together and after we rest tomorrow, perhaps there's a way we could do it together.
That is how I read books, by touching them. I think that is how we fell into those thorns. I will need to think on this. Weston goes out. He's going to go get some fresh air. He's going to leave the temple. Have a sit outside.
Chicken has no like lust to wait, so it follows you outside as well.
Just gonna stay staring at the book.
Fucking thing keeps resetting. All you ever wanted is all it's gonna say. Why?
Roger, roger.
Yes.
All you ever wanted could be yours.
Just echoes through your mind. Not necessarily speaking to you. It echoes like an old radio for some reason.
For what it's worth, I think I would be trying to understand what happened, and I think I would be, the more I hear the voice, whether it's talking to me directly or just echoing in the room or whatever it's doing, I think I would be trying to look for more in the little inflections, the sound, if I'm hearing it over and over, trying to hear, does it sound consistent, does it sound different, trying to, like somebody who stares at a gargoyle believing it'll move, you know, the longer you stare at it, maybe it will, and sometimes people hallucinate and think they did see it move. What I'm looking for, I'm trying to decipher whether or not I believe what I'm being told, and by listening to it over and over, I'm trying to see, do I think that I get a sense of, like I said, is it the same, is it changing, does it feel believable, what kind of vibe am I getting from what I'm hearing?
Whilst I would love to, because I commend you for not just saying, is that your, and actually explaining what you're trying to do here, and I love that. It's difficult to gain insight from such a thing because all you have is a voice in your head. It caused you a great, tremendous deal of pain, but it also knew a tremendous amount about you, things that you didn't even quite know yourself. So with that in mind and in perspective, it's probably less about its intentions and more about what are you willing to do to regain that information.
I think I would just sit for the next period of time just trying to contemplate all the options that I think are available to me and trying to almost do the maths on the pros and cons, trying to think, how do I get around this? What would happen if, would I, should I, could I, and all the permutations of those therein. And I'm just sitting on the floor, resting, trying to lower my heart rate, trying to recover from everything that's happened, trying to, on the one hand, if you will, still my mind, but more so focus it, and to try and think through those things. Apologies. And then that's what I'd be doing for the next little while.
You would do this probably alone. Callus would want to leave this room. Westland and Chicken are both gone. So you would sit at the threshold of this door, unmurred by things around you. It's just you and what you're willing to do. The day fades on for you. But for your compatriots, it's still just beginning. Hello, other end of the party.
I'm awake.
That's how Eos wakes. She just sits up bolt right, like fucking Dracula. Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. What a reference. What are you guys up to on this day 2?
Nothing notorious, nothing evil, nothing maleficent. You know yourself.
Reading good books lately?
Books that says, don't touch the big gooey books.
Gooey books.
Dash is just there with a chill down his spine, like something awful has happened.
Interesting timing to say that as Lissa enters the room.
Whose room?
Whatever room he happens to be in.
He's in bedroom, so
even better. Through the window.
Yeah.
Doors just kicked open, or window kicked open, I mean.
So what time is it, like morning time?
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure where we actually stopped. Just because we just did quite a lot. Where did we stop on the back end of your story last week? Do we know? For you guys?
Finished going through the secret tunnels, and we're back in the common room.
You came back to the common room.
we spent the whole day like discovering the tunnels and shit.
Yeah. So with that in mind, then that's where we'll pick up. I'd say to the morning after that. Hatsu, you're going through your morning rituals. Eos, you're going through morning rituals. Madriana's probably still asleep. But Dash, yeah, you say something bad has just happened because you just probably had a bad dream, perhaps. A dream of Westland and Slate possibly in peril or struggling. Who knows?
Okay.
But with that,
So
you see her sitting on the windowsill, yeah.
are you ever going to use the door?
Who uses a door?
Welcome back. It's good to see you. 1 second. Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
That was a quick journey.
Was it? The DM hesitates for a second. Was it? Was it a great journey?
It's been like 2 days.
Yes, well, I was nearby.
Oh, yes, the magic. Yes, of course. Yeah. Oh, welcome back. How are you?
It's the first time you've ever opened with a question about somebody else. Are you feeling all right?
I'm trying to be better.
Oh, trying is the appropriate term.
Do you want to sit here and sass me, or would you like some tea?
It's like 8:30. If we could get some alcohol in this place, that would be great. I haven't drank in quite a while.
Sure, there's like as much as we want downstairs.
Ever the gentleman. She walks towards the door.
No, I mean, let me get dressed, and then I can get us something. Yeah, hold on.
Whatever you want is downstairs. I love that so much. It's just like goes back to sleep.
Wait. Let me just gets up and just puts on pants and a shirt and just goes out the door.
No worries.
Yeah, I'll go and what would you like? Whiskey, tea, coffee, all of the above, wine.
She leans towards the plate and she suddenly just like an ale pops up and she just grabs it by the handle and goes and sits down.
That'll do. And I think I'll get a peppermint tea. Actually, I've become quite fond of it.
I love. We need to start making tea bags, man. Just peppermint tea bags and selling them on the website. Like we need to.
Yeah, so I'll get peppermint tea and then just look at the whiskey and just go.
Irish up that
Small
peppermint.
Irish up that peppermint. Yeah. Still kind of rubbing my eyes. Oh, sorry. Need to get my brain switched on as much as it goes on. Yes, before you say it, I know.
She just shuts her mouth again.
we mapped your tunnels.
Something tells me that was not a we thing.
Me, Madriana, Eos, Hatsu, and Ayami.
Ayami, Madriana, and Eos mapped the tunnels then, I'm assuming?
I helped.
Did you help in reverse?
No. I actually helped. I marked the walls that we've already passed so that they don't get lost.
You marked my walls?
Yes.
Alright. Some people just choose to remember the path they've taken. You need... Will I get you a crayon set for your birthday so you can figure your way down the actual hallways of the school as well, or...?
I have my own crayons. I mean, no.
I have my own crayon. My mom gave me a set before I left home, okay?
And we've attempted to make a start looking for the vault as well.
Oh, so you've had a change of heart? Now you believe me about the vault?
Well, I didn't disbelieve you, I just wasn't sure if it was a wise choice. But, choosing to go all in on this one. And do you want to stay here with us, or would you prefer back in your own quarters?
I understand that you feel like you lead every group that you're a part of, but I would rather speak to the others first and see how they feel about it, perhaps engage your reaction, get a feeling for how they feel about it before I invite myself into their space.
There's no leading this bunch of fuckwits, trust me.
At that moment, any one of you can choose to walk out and hear that. I'm fine with it.
Oh, Madriana hears it from her bedroom.
I love Madriana so much.
She knows what's going on. She's just staying out of it.
Eos, as you put your hand up, I will say that you walk out at that exact moment of him calling you all fuckwits.
Without being able to see Dash, because it's like a little stairwell, I reply, "How dare?
How dare?
Are we not all fuckwits? Morning, Eos.
Says you. Who are you talking to?
Oh, Lissa's here.
Down the stair.
Come on down, join us. I've made some tea.
By the time you've come down the stairs, she's already by the thing, and she hands you a cup of peppermint tea freshly made from the tray thing rather than your thing. But
I haven't made your room yet.
it's quite all right. I would rather speak to everybody and make sure they feel as comfortable having a skilled rogue amongst the group, unlike Mr. Dash here.
We have a Madrian.
Leaning against the wall at my doorway where I can see them. It would be nice to finally have someone of equal talent.
Good morning, Amadriana.
I would say good morning to you, but I know you've been here about 40 minutes already.
I'll give you with your passive perception that you do pick up that she just mutters, impressive. But she doesn't say it out loud. She's not intentionally saying it towards you, and I don't even know if anyone else would pick up on that, but she says that you get it. Like, you're listening anyway, so... Because your fucking passive is crazy.
My only reservation is that he has to stay here. Like, you know, can't we just swap you out for him? It'd be much easier.
Could you imagine the harm he could do to this school in one day by himself? I think that it's better to have eyes on him at pretty much all times, no?
The harm...
I mean, a leash would work
draw
better.
now to exhale. Dash just pours more whiskey than tea into his cup.
How
Atso
dare?
pops out next to Dash, and she goes, "How do you feel like all these people trolling you?"
Morning,
Whiskey spills everywhere, for sure.
Yeah, just to dribble down the shirt and just... Morning. What time is it? I haven't had
It's
this
time for
much
you to get
abuse
your
since...
act together. Listen, how long will you be with us?
As long as I'm welcome. I would stay and finish out the year and accomplish whatever goals we need to accomplish. Of course, I have my own classes and my own agendas here at the school, but I would not be in your way. But yes, that or until Dash says something so egregious that I must leave. So about a week.
About a week? Yeah.
I have one request, which would give you my acceptance to stay here with us.
But of course.
Share with us the information you have about this vault.
Legit thought you just said shower with us, and I was like, it's not that kind of campaign, brother. Share with us the information about the vault. Got it.
Wait, no, go back.
Leonardo DiCaprio, I mean...
Yeah.
I found your tunnels by following you. We wasn't able to ascertain where this vault was, but I'm assuming you have somewhat of a bit of an advantage to find it. You just wasn't able to on your own. Maybe together we can.
Well, that would be fair. There are two major laws of vaults, and my mind wonders if they are one and the same. One is of the Shadow Vault, which was last seen in Bricksunder many years ago, that contained many artifacts by one of the greatest, Lucius Shadowbane. The other, well, if this is true, I'm sure you know the history of who built this school, correct?
We've been taught since we've been here.
Well, during their time, the emissaries of Paragon obviously needed somewhere to set up shop. It wouldn't be a far stretch to assume that this might be that location, and that the artifacts that they had chosen to use may reside within the vault here. And if not, then at the very least, anything that was gathered or collected since then may have been kept here. For me, it feels like a wasted opportunity to not at least just have a peek.
Well, as Dash had said to you, we have mapped out the corridors. However, we were unable to find the room, the vault.
If it is truly as powerful as I would assume, then there is probably a reason why it is so difficult to find. My assumption would be that it probably has a lot to do with who is here. At the moment, I believe there's an unwanted guest in this school. It may be a little bit more difficult to find doors open and available.
Yeah, Dash has been a real issue for sure.
Absolutely, yes.
Here's the map I made of the secret tunnel. Secret tunnel!
She takes it and she looks around at it. Oh, you were thorough. Almost like a nat 20 was rolled on this.
Yeah, there was a couple of tunnels you missed on your first pass through.
Is this true? It's new.
Oh, I assumed it was the completed work. My bad. Sorry, I thought it was the
Oh, the one with the sun in the corner and the poop in the sad face. Yeah.
Got it. Oh, okay. Oh, that one. Sorry, apologies. Okay. Ignore my nat 20 remark.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, as she looks at it for a moment, whenever that ship is here, the Omegaverse one, or anything, or maybe anyone of significance that appears to come here frequently, I would imagine that that is our better opportunity to find what we're looking for, rather than exploring endlessly the tunnels of these schools, which have infinite corridors. We just follow the people who are most likely to use it. It's a little tricky when Remington himself is constantly seeing everybody in every room all the time. But if we find someone who may use this vault themselves, that perhaps would be a more stealthy way to approach this.
We do have a new guest in the school. I'll just look at him, Adriano. Have you heard of Amelia Harrow?
Yes, Dr. Harrow. I've done my research.
I imagine if there is such a vault, they probably wouldn't be allowing her into it.
She's a significant guest all the same. I mean, I've begun the work there anyway, so I may as well continue that and see what fruit it bears.
You might also consider that not all guests that are here have the same ranks among those who are in charge.
Oh, absolutely. I don't doubt it. I suspect Remington, from what I know, wouldn't be all too eager for her to have unfettered access to every place in the school.
I'm pretty sure Remington gives her access to everything she's supposed to see.
Might I suggest a new target, someone that would possibly have more access to this than you might think?
Go on.
Hatsu, were you not talking about the armorer? And now he has weapons and stuff stored away? Wouldn't be unreasonable to think that someone with that level of control over weapons would have somewhere to put them.
I think he has his own little hidden vault thingy in
That
the
might be
walls.
I mean, that may be for the mundane weapons and, you know, maybe the slightly better things, but I would have thought maybe he would have had access to the real powerful stuff. Maybe not, I guess.
Would be a start, I guess.
May I propose something?
If it's to Dash, then I will happily be your bridesmaid.
Just too early in the morning for that. But
Taking as a big sip.
those who are able to get to hidden locations, they themselves may be hidden to us. Like the 50ers who didn't show up when Boreal decided to, do his thing. I suspect that, and it's been written in literature, those of such high ranks wouldn't be among us first years.
We could talk to Luna.
Alyssa, I must gather some stuff. Do not enter your room until this afternoon.
Certainly.
It's great to see you.
Yes, you too, yes. It's, thank you. I have to imagine that Dash did not come to the conclusion of speaking to me on his own, so I would assume somebody else here is responsible.
Oh, Major, it had a lot to do with it.
I imagine.
I, as ever, would like to take the credit, but honestly, I think this time it was just the fact that Dash was missing you.
There are many things in this world that I would believe in. That is not one of them. She taps Dash on the back and she just sort of heads out of the room, throws her rucksack over her back and heads down the hall.
Dash is deliberately facing away until his cheeks go back to a normal color.
You're with me, Dash. We have to gather a couple of items.
Yeah, of course.
We got to get some... You get leather, because I don't know much about that. I will go get the night jasmine, the black dahlia, and some moonflower.
Okay. Wonderful. Yes.
Is there any way I can do a retroactive check on Lissa when I made the joke about Eos and Dash getting married to see how
You
she
can make
took
the insight
that?
check. Yeah, I was actually curious in my head if anyone was wondering. That was nice.
Shaq in chat is just like...
Yeah, Shaq from the chat has been waiting for this moment.
No! Screw you, dice! 7.
7? Hard to tell. She's a difficult person to read, so...
God damn, I wish I had inspo. I'm just going to choose to believe that she was upset about it.
Leather, right. The armor is probably best for that, actually. So while I'm there, I can
Could be.
ask him about vaults.
But they make their own armor. They probably have a tanning station or something.
Potentially, but I can go there and ask first.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get a bag, some kind of a container. I gotta gather a bunch of flowers.
Wonderful. And thank you for doing this, by the way. It's very nice of you.
Dash, I want you to be better. She seems good for you.
Oh, she's not. Trust me, she is not, but in a good way.
Eos looks over at Major and it's just like,
She is competition for you, though, Eos.
For me?
And she just winks at you, like, cheekily, like...
I don't have that skill set.
Because I'm going to have to ask in character, what does he mean by that?
I would be interested too. I don't understand this conversation at all.
I'm with you, Hatsu. I'm very lost here.
You're better not to, Hatsu.
You can tell they're men, can't you? They're very simple folk.
Oh, is there differences between men and women? I don't understand.
Yes,
That sounds about right. Sorry, yes, what would you say?
There are some differences. I'm more agile than the average male.
Oh, we should test that.
I'm gonna get some flowers. I'll catch you guys at lunch.
Go get some leather.
Hatsu resheathes his sword. With that, this might be a good moment to just take a 10-minute.
Sure.
We can come back and I'll probably rejoin the group in the school for the moment.
I need a coffee.
Yeah, I do as well. For those of you who have joined us and stayed with us so far, we super appreciate it. Thank you for the lurks and the likes and the follows and the bits and the subs and there's a lot going on, chat. Thank you so much for all of that, and thank you, Shaq, for being so invested. I just saw that he spammed the keyboard. He's
in the memes, yeah.
That's Shaq's forehead right now.
That's our post show. Foreshadowing. Yeah. So for the moment, what we'll do is we'll take like roughly 10 minutes. We'll come back at 9:05 there. and we'll continue. For those of you on YouTube, it is just a flash cut, but for those of you on Twitch, please feel free to join in on the boss battle. We will start the prediction now. The prediction runs for usually about 2 minutes, and what we'll do is an easy boss battle. So you have 10 minutes to defeat the boss. Oh, that's a 5-minute prediction. Awesome. And boss. There we go. So it's all going to be set up. It's all going to run in a second. For those of you who don't know on YouTube, because I always want to make sure that it's super clear, there is an animated boss battle that happens in Twitch during our breaks, and you are able to engage with it and play with it in chat. So you simply put in exclamation point in whatever class you want to play in the first 90 seconds of it beginning, and then you simply use 1, 2, or 3 in chat to do its different moves and attacks. You get 30 seconds each of you to make an attack or a move, and you work together collaboratively to defeat the boss. It is a heck of a lot of fun. We always join it ourselves and have a good time. And
like
we see
Pokemon battles.
like kind of like Pokemon battle, except it's just like 90 people beating the absolute ever living crap out of a boss, or just getting beaten, because that's happened quite often too. Like the win rate's terrible. But it's awesome. You guys are doing really well.
We suck at D&D.
That's it, baby. Perfect. Thank you so much. So back in 10 minutes, and for those of you in chat, good luck with the boss. See you then. BRB. Hello, we are back. Sorry for the delay there, folks. Thank you for waiting in Twitch chat, and sorry about the boss battle. You guys did not win. We need more people. Come battle. We join our group of oh, we don't have Dash on the camera. I'll fix that now. I can't say that. Sorry about that. So we join our group back in the area. So you guys went out to get some supplies for bedroom.
Dash and Eos are side questing.
Perfect. We can pick up there if you'd like.
Yeah, so Eos will be heading out on Ducky. She's got just her backpack with her. She's actually going to try and collect some flowers in general, specifically looking.
We really do a picking flowers side quest in actual D&D.
Of course.
It's such a meme.
have a list, brother.
Fantastic.
Night Jasmine, Black Dahlia. That's right pronunciation.
Dahlia.
Yeah.
Dahlia. Yeah.
And Moonflower.
Okay, those are all easy to find here, especially Moonflower. In fact, this is probably the only place on the entire Isles that you'll find Moonflower, so completely fine.
Oh yeah. So that's what Eos is going to do for the afternoon.
No worries.
Wonderful. And Dash is going to go try to procure some leather, just like little strips of leather. The fresher, the better. Just to kind of get the the aroma, the scent.
Well, there is a horse that you can turn into leather to get really fresh.
No. Is there any tar pits nearby?
I swear to God.
Any tar pits? I can make one.
The one time I try and help Dash.
Just be careful down on the beach that there's no, quicksand.
One time. Never again.
Yeah, I'll go to the armory, I guess, and I'll start there.
No worries. It's not hard to find. It'll help you procure some leather and stuff that's good for leather work.
Wonderful. While I'm in the armory, I'm just going to ask the dude straight up. Have you heard anything about a secret magical vault in the school?
Who are you asking this to? Evius? Is it the guy that worked with the weapon stuff? A vault? I mean, there's that one over there where we get all our weapons from.
Well, I heard rumors about it might just be, urban myth or legend about something called a shadow vault. Something with Lucius Shadowbane or something just came up in conversation one day.
Have you been smoking the moonflower herbs, or are you okay?
I'm not, but are they good?
I fear I've crossed the line I cannot return from.
It's okay. We're all adults here.
I shouldn't have said that. I definitely shouldn't have said that.
Should not have said that.
Oh, there you go. You wish for inspiration. Take it. That was good. Hell yeah. So like he has absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
It's just, I'm going to assume it's the fourth year's pulling a prank, spreading rumors. Quite all right. Thank you for the leather, and that's going to make a wonderful gift.
You're going to give someone a stick of leather?
It's the smell of it, for ambiance, I suppose, aesthetic.
Don't buy me anything for my birthday.
I take it you don't. What do you like? What would be a good gift for you?
He looks down at his wrist, even though he doesn't have a watch. I got classes to go to. I'm just gonna.
I understand.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah. He just walks past. He's just gone. There's a gust of wind that follows him.
Weird dude.
Is Dash that guy that walks around with an apple in his pocket for the teacher every time he goes into class?
No, he's not. Because not all teachers like apples. You have to find out what they like first, and maybe some like plums, maybe some like pears.
He learned that the hard way.
An apple in your pocket, or are you just happy to see them?
He learned that the hard way by giving it to someone who had an apple allergy.
No, it's just a weird growth on his leg that he forgot to get checked.
Dash is getting riddled in and out of the campaign.
He is riddled. Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
One time I will make a character that doesn't get absolutely rinsed.
I don't believe it. I'll believe what I see.
While I'm out on.
Oh yes, Eos, continuing the campaign, of course.
Please.
I would like to pass by the little twig figurines to see if anything has happened to the bag that I left.
Bag, no, but it is getting kind of infused with twigs as they grow more. More wrappings have appeared upon them and such things.
Perfect. Hell yeah. That's exactly what I wanted.
Nice. Hatsu, what have you been doing, man? Very quiet for the last 2 sessions. What's up? Talk to me.
Hatsu is gonna, like, after all of them sprinkled around doing stuff, he's going to see Boreal.
Yeah, Boreal's doing well. He's in his room thing. His prison room, is that fair to say? He's doing
restroom.
Yes, his restroom. Because he's so shit at magic. But he's in the room.
Nessie's raging right now.
I said arrest, not rest.
A restroom, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. That's even better.
That
you
went
see
to shit.
He's just banging a couple along the bars. Nobody's in the trouble I've seen.
We're just taking the piss now. In the restroom. No, absolutely. Just like the metal clinking bars. Boreal is doing fine. He's a little tired, having difficulty sleeping, but he's okay. He's quite content to see you, quite happy.
Well, did you get the bread?
He nods in delight and holds up the empty napkin of his half loaf of bread that you gave him. Not knowing that you indeed kept 1.5 for yourself. He's very happy with that. Yeah, thanks for sharing it with me. I appreciate it.
How have your days been? What did Dr. Harrow discuss something with you?
Yeah, she brought me out yesterday. We tried to cast some pretty intense magic, but it didn't work.
Were some of the other teachers with you to
Remington came.
try to guide you?
He was there. He didn't give any guidance. He seemed more like a, when Father comes with us, but like to watch training when he's not participating, just to make sure it's being done right, but he mostly just judges the teacher. It felt like that.
So you still don't have the ability to harness the source of your magic?
Well, I mean, no, but like I'm getting there. I can do this.
Sounds good.
And he just like casts light. It's just.
Well, where there's light, there can be shadows. I like it.
He's really proud of himself. Like you say that, and that gives him like it ruffles his feathers in a good way.
Yeah. Well, I hope you haven't forgotten our normal routines, right?
No, I still do my traditions. I haven't seen Chicken or Ayami in a few days. Are they okay?
Ayami is good. Chicken is out with Westlin. He decided after all what happened to stay in the woods, which I totally understand, I guess. It was a rough time for him. So I guess Chicken is with him. Ayami is following other orders, because we are about to build a little unit here to help gather information about potential intruders that we dealt with last time.
Nice.
Well, maybe that will help to get the classmates back together after all what happened, I guess.
Are they mad at you?
I think they're more scared about things they don't understand. And also, they don't understand how we behave in certain situations. You know, different people, different culture, you have to get used to it, I guess.
Is there anything I can do to make things easier for you or for them?
No, it wasn't your fault that they're mad at. I think it was how I reacted that they were mad at. Well, I just want to let you know that, you know, a strong body, a strong mind will help you go further in your training. You know? I just wanted to make sure you keep your routines.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bored in here, but it's easy with the routines and the practice. That keeps me going. Do you think at some point I can go home, or can maybe mother and father visit?
I'm pretty sure they can. I'm pretty sure you cannot. Unfortunately, we are in a little political situation, if you understand. There is forces that are really scared of what happened to you, and their only answer to things like that is throw you in a deep, deep, deep hole and seal it. So we don't want that.
Yeah, Remington felt really good about that, but that didn't happen.
Remington agreed to use his name to convince the other parties that you are better up here, where somebody like him can keep you in control with your magic. I know it's odd, and I know it's not fair, but that's the best we can do for now. Until you have more control yourself.
I guess that's fair. I miss home.
Don't we all?
But this also might be the longest period in a long time where something hasn't gone on fire in the house because I haven't been there. So it's probably good for mother and father.
Well, I will talk to Ayame that she should visit more frequently, and I do my best to visit more frequently. But if you ever need something, just let me know. You can also write letters in here with this strange magic paper thingy.
Well, if anything weird happens or if I hear anything, I will tell you. You'll be the first to know. I don't know how to use the strange paper magic thingy, but I have nothing but time. I will figure it out.
I'm pretty sure you do. And he kind of bows a little deeper than he would normally do to show more respect for his situation and how he goes through it. And he leaves off to see Remington.
Between Boreal's room and Remington's room, you get about 6 different letters that are like, Hatsu, how do I, did this work? Is this sending? like it's just a ton of letters just bombarding you. Yeah, you go to see Remington. Yeah, that's easy to do. You'll usually find him in his office right now. So
yeah. So he knocks.
Yeah, and we begin the long process of me trying to remember what his voice is.
Like Dash, but older.
There's so many jokes. There's too many jokes. My brain broke there for a second there.
Yes, I broke the deal.
Well, what's that? Well, hello, sir thingy that you did.
Oh, Hatsu, hello.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's it.
there you go. He kind of bows and he says, sorry to bother you, Sensei, but I have a request if you don't mind.
Yes, anything?
Remember when you were in the dorm's room and you asked for suggestions how we should proceed further with the intruder situation? And a lot of the folks suggested that we should also use the strength of the students to kind of help.
Yes.
So I would offer you to form a little team. As you quite know, I have some experience with that from my family background. So we would love to assist as a team to potentially find intruders or things that are just off. Speaking of things that were off, as I remember, you took a sample of the things that we explored in the woods, the strange plants that became alive.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find anything out about it?
Nothing. Every attempt we've made to observe it, investigate it, identify it has been thwarted and failed. It doesn't seem to be anything but a clump of dirt and wood.
But you saw it was alive.
It certainly moved, I feel. But, yeah, I have yet to see any further signs of life than the rapid growth of a plant, which around here is not all that unusual.
I see.
Yes, the Tom Jones plant.
Well, it's not unusual.
I'm just curious that it might be something related to the blood samples she took from my brother.
Think so?
Because I feel like his magic is more related to his blood. There is something I feel which is not the way you use magic or other people I saw using magic.
I would agree with this, yes. It's a little bit unusual, all of this. But if she is doing this with that in mind, it is to find a common solution for us all, one would hope.
Yeah, that's what I hope. Okay, so how can we assist as a team? We started to do some patrol routines. Is there any specific things you want us to observe?
I suppose the best thing you could do would really be to monitor the halls. Hatsu becomes a hall monitor. I suppose just keep your eyes open. If you wish to do patrols, we can allow this, and we can obviously, with things the way they are at the moment, there's a bit of a curfew that we have in place. But I suppose if it's for this, it would be okay. If do you have a name for this group that you are forming?
Oh, well, I guess Team 7.
Fair. Okay, good name. Team 7 it is.
Well, maybe Team 8 now. Did you know that Lissa's back?
I did. She came to see me this morning. She said that she might be staying with you, so we do not need to organize a room for her. That's very gracious.
There's just one thing, like, do you think it's a good idea that Westland is out in the woods? I know he has guards, but...
Hatsu...
I don't know him that well, but I think he, after all what happened, he's scared that I might take his head while he's sleeping or something.
I'm not sure that it has anything to do with you, but, like, as in, he's not necessarily scared of you. But he does find comfort among the trees. My return question would simply be, how do you think it would go if I attempted to force him to stay in his room? I imagine it would push him further from the confines and safety of this school rather than actually help him.
What if his room would look like the woods?
I suppose that would be a good question for you to ask him, Hatsu.
Alright. Well, thanks for your time, I guess.
Of course. Your Strike Force 8, or whatever you call them, you feel free to let us know when you are prepared to begin, and we will do a calling. We'll do a call. I just saw Ryan's post. We'll do a calling for...
Isles forever.
Oh, I love that. You let us know, and we'll do a calling to see if anyone else would wish to join. We'd have it open to all years and groups.
Well,
so.
yeah, I know what you're saying, but you also know that the smaller units work better, so I will suggest having more units.
It's not so much about the size of the unit as it is what you do with it, I suppose.
No, it's about the control.
About the control.
Have you ever tried to protocol the reports of 50 people? That's not fun.
I believe they would be reporting to someone, not me, correct?
That would be me, and I don't want to do that.
We're good then. You do whatever you want to do.
Is there a way that we could maybe arrange that Boreal would, of course, some guards could have some time outside his room?
It's a bit tricky, but yeah, we can perhaps arrange at least time to walk the grounds. This is meant to be better than a prison, and even prisoners get yard time.
He's just not used to stay in a room that long, and I feel like a little longer, and his mind will leave us for no good.
Yes, no, nobody would want that. So, yes, all right. We can certainly try and arrange that. I apologize for not doing that sooner. That seems like an oversight on my part. A lot has been happening lately. Yes, absolutely. We can try and do something like that. I will let you know.
He bows down like a little deeper, and he goes, domo arigatou gozaimashita, and he leaves back to the dorms room.
Nice. And Madriana, is there anything that you would like to approach?
There is actually. I'm going to go to the library.
Okay.
And
just move books around at random.
Yeah. There would definitely be some of that. There would definitely be a few. Like she's just trying to help us out. Like,
give her something to do.
Well, not something to do, but just give her something to be like, oh, I can fix that, and because she knows that Eos likes that kind of thing.
Nice.
But no, so when I went there before, one of the things I investigated was people like Amadriana. But what I didn't look for was when this happened and why people think it happened. This switch where people got altered. So that's what I'm trying to look into, to see if there's like a source of it. There's like a moment that happened that snapped it into position, and then to see if there's a way to maybe even reverse it.
Okay. What are we looking for specifically here with this? So if you can go a little bit more specific,
okay.
Just so I understand what you're doing. So even if you as Ryan just want to quickly run me through it, yeah.
Yeah, so basically I want to see what was the event that caused that was supposedly believed to be the cause of what these mutations were, these changes in people. Because from what we've all been made to understand from history and stuff and from the classes is that this wasn't always the case. That these things have happened over, however long sort of thing. So she wants to see if there's essentially, I know you'd understand this, but maybe our audience wouldn't. She wants to see if there's any of the, what's the fucking thing in humans? You know what I mean? The Terrigen, yeah. She wants to see if there was a Terrigen incident, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And see if there's a way to reverse it or re-engineer it.
Okay, I'm going to get a history check from you. I'll give you advantage on this, but the answer won't be a direct thing that you think it is. So I'm giving you advantage to maybe understand more information of the scope of what I'm going to talk about here, okay?
Okay. Well, that's a suck and a suck, so that's a 10. I'm going to use my inspo to redo that.
Okay.
Because this is something I actually want to know.
Good luck, because every time you use your inspiration, it always gets worse, but I'm really hoping this time is the one.
Fucks.
Okay.
It just goes to prove that Amadriana isn't the sort of person to hang around in a library. Like, that's all this is. She's like so confused by all the books.
Yeah. There might be room for growth upon the learning, but you don't know what you're looking for, so it's hard for it to find. But what you do find with a 10 is very basic and rudimentary information about how it's mostly an unknown source or an unknown cause. So it starts with
one thing. Sorry.
Doesn't even matter how hard you try. I rolled a 10. You get
yeah. Inspiration for the DM.
No.
No. Double inspiration.
Yes.
I'm always inspired. That's my secret cat. Yeah, I really want to have to phrase this, but a 10 is 10. The basic information that you're getting is that most people don't seem to know. So there's got to be something that you're looking for in that level that's a little bit more refined and specific, and that motivates your research in the future. Does that make sense?
Okay. We're seeing how badly she does with that. Can she go and find... Was it Luna was the history teacher, if I remember rightly?
Luna was a 5th year student. The history teacher...
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind, but I just thought about the history teacher a second ago. As per usual, give me 1 second. Groups, Maleficent, staff. There we go.
I have got it in my notes, but as usual, I can't find them because I'm an idiot.
Oh, no, you're okay. History teacher is Odium Memoris. Of course it is.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I have to start remembering that I wrote this campaign. It's going to be a name that I came up with for this. So it's like that's totally the answer.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna go and find them then, and hopefully catch them when they're not busy. Excuse me, may I have a word with you?
Yes, you may.
I won't keep you long. I was wondering, what do you know about the history of the causation of our changes?
There's a moment where he kind of like closes his eyes and sort of squints towards you, and there's a flare of purple in his left eye. He has...
I'll just turn slightly and then turn back.
Okay. He has kind of this sort of mane of hair that's just curled and flipped around and stuff like that. It's a little bit... It almost looks like it's moving on its own, if that makes sense.
So it looks like a lion mane kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right.
It is... There's a moment of just like... He almost looks accusatory at you of just like, why is she asking me this? And then he just sort of realizes, oh, I'm a history teacher, you know, like that's more likely why she's asking me this.
It's my job.
Yeah, right, exactly. But it was just like a thing of like, you were coming at him first and then like, oh, right, that's not what's happening here. So he concentrates for a moment and he puts his hand up and kind of rubs his temple. And you're... Why is it that you want to know? Just a natural curiosity, or?
Trying to understand whether it was a choice, whether it was an accident, whether it's a curse.
I have always spent my life in the search of esoteric knowledge, things that make sense to a select few. So I can respect that you would come to me in search of this knowledge. But the information that you seek, at best, is either known by a select few or none at all. And although I would love to crack the minds of those who have discovered the answers, I fear at the moment the answer is that we simply do not know.
And what has Dr. Harrow taught you about her findings with this stuff?
The best lesson I learned about Dr. Harrow is to try and stay away from her. But she does bear an awful and incredible amount of information.
Okay. It's frustrating to think we have so much history and so much of it's lost. Do you know about the race threats? Like, I know you know in the general sense of them, but would, as a history professor, would you know specifics?
Touching your first point, sometimes the best things in life are lost. I've been on some expeditions, some archaeological ones, finding these secrets and uncovering them and helping understand the way we are. But that leads to some great adventure. Just because the answers aren't right here, right now in front of you, doesn't mean they aren't out there. And I think that once you break free of these walls and start exploring the world as a whole, hopefully the answers will become clearer to you. What was your actual question? Sorry. I confused myself. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's all right. What does he know about specific raised threats?
Raised threats, that was the question, sorry. A great deal. I've studied a lot about raised threats. What would you like to know?
What do you know about the raised threat that was taken on by a member of Verdoir? I heard stories while I was growing up on the streets and stuff, and I always wondered what actually happened.
Harley is answering the question for you.
I'm happy to have that.
There are a few different cases where people have openly talked about and gone after and engaged with race threats. Verdoir is known to make them a little tougher than the other locations in these isles. Is there something specific that you're trying to ask me here?
There was a gentleman, one of the high guards or one of the members of the higher families there. We were told about how he went and, whether stupidly or bravely, went and fought one of these and it destroyed him. I just wondered how much of it was true and what the real story was.
You're speaking of Thorngrim.
I think that's the name, yes. Again, whispers and rumors around the streets, but my interest has always got the better of me.
He grew up in Verdoir and started his life difficult as a child, witnessing the murder of his own parents. This shapes you and puts you in a very specific direction. He had a very set goal in mind. He had a curiosity about history, and a knack for war. He believed that the secrets to victory weren't shrouded in being the best tactician or the strongest soldier, but both. If you could read a battlefield, you could take down any opponent with an insurmountable force and strength. And he was built to do such things. He always sought out the most dangerous and challenging battles that he could find, and of course, a raised threat is one of them. He sought to take out the raised threat was known as the Astral Devourer. And unfortunately, it was a lot stronger than he anticipated. When this cosmic entity descended, it came from the stars rather than the earth. It was threatening to consume the realm and plunge it into darkness. Thorngrim weakened it enough that it could be taken down by the crisis response unit, but not without giving up a great deal of himself. Thorngrim that day fell. But it is, I won't say widely, but it is believed by those in the know that without his efforts that day, that Devourer may have brought the end to us all. He was a hero.
And yet not heralded as one.
Well, there are many people through our world that are we'll call them heroes. There are quite a few that are villains as well. But you come from Verduard, so have you been to Gone in a Gulp? You can make a history check if you want.
Yeah, I was just about to say. She's been around a bit there.
Yeah.
14.
Yeah, you know Gone in a Gulp. Gone in a Gulp is a tavern. It's more than a tavern. It's more like it's a proper bar, but like it's a tavern. And it's the thing of legends within Verduard. It's every drink, every thing that you can get there is named after different heroes and stuff like that. And there is one that's there after Thorngrim. So the people of Verduard remember him as a hero.
Mm.
Well, if you know this place, then you know that he is heralded as a hero at home.
Yes, but I also know that there's other people heralded as heroes there that really aren't. I just wondered, that was all.
Sure, I understand, but I think ultimately a hero is just whatever it is to you, right? Everybody's on their own journey, and not all heroes are heroes to everybody. The hero of one story may be the villain of the other. It's all about perspective.
Yes. Always three parts to the story. Yours, theirs, and the truth.
Well said. The truth is what we aspire to find.
And that's why I came for you to hopefully give me some answers, which you have. Because it's always good to have information. And it's also good to know not to go after astral raised threats.
If you do, I would argue, don't do it alone.
If I do it with the idiots that I'm with, they'll probably die first anyway, so might give me some time at least.
Makes sense, yeah. But maybe get out of first year and then maybe that can be your 5th year challenge.
Can a teacher say that?
No, I wonder why the 5th years aren't around then, I guess.
They're all dead.
Suddenly it all makes sense.
They die trying.
They die trying.
As a parting question, if you have any other knowledge about Verduard that you think I might find interesting, I'd love if you would send that on to me.
Sure, I've always wanted to go. Verduard is a place
maybe be careful with your pockets if you go there.
Of course. Verduard is a place where secrets are best kept there, so it's a little tougher to find things out, but if I do learn anything of importance, absolutely.
From the street level, if I can assist with any questions you might have, I can try.
I feel like we could be advantageous allies.
Absolutely. Well, I won't keep you and any more of your time. Thank you very much for the information, and yes, keep in mind my initial inquiry if you do find anything as well. That would be brilliant. Thank you.
He nods and yeah, leaves you on your way.
How is this gentleman dressed? How does he look? Because we know how a lot of them look, and I can't remember this one.
Yeah, I can show you.
That'd be even better.
I was like, is it spoilers? But no, it wouldn't be. I'll pull up his card here. Yeah, I mean, he looks like, in terms of like his emotional demeanor, let's call it, he looks a little bit worse for wear. But in his physical demeanor, he looks...
he's a millennial. Okay.
In his physical demeanor,
One of us.
he looks very...
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
one of
that's
us,
definitely one of us. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Purple, depressed. Yeah.
I lived through the Great Recession.
You're making all these into Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right?
When I was your age, I already had a house, and I walked to school back and forth 5 kilometers. They're called miles back then.
Uphill both ways.
Uphill both
Through the
ways.
snow.
No socks, no shoes.
He was pleasant enough and stuff, but did I at all get any vibes of being like sneaky or hiding or being deceptive? Like, did he seem like he was being as open as he was, or did he seem like... No, I don't mean hiding information. I mean, did he seem like a conniving like type of person?
I think that's more for you to dissect or to discern than it would be for me to tell you. But he seemed very passionate about information. That's why he likes the job that he's in.
Okay. So yeah, I take it as I received it, which is that he's nice enough. He knows his stuff, but he seems a bit stressed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, leave him to it, and I'll head back and see who's got back to the dorms.
No worries. EOS Dash comes at you with way too much leather. Like massive bundles of leather. You needed a little bit. He brought like fists and arms of leather.
This'll do that.
Is that enough? I can get more.
No.
2
No.
horses worth.
Approximately 1 ducky worth.
No, that's absolutely perfect. Fantastic. Okay. Right.
Well,
Are we all in agreement then that we're giving Wes's room to Lissa?
I mean, I feel like we should just, as a matter of course, ask him, but also he's definitely staying in the woods, so we can ask him later to be polite about it, but already
Well,
have
let's
it
seek
pretty much
forgiveness
done.
if it goes wrong. Yeah.
Yes. I like
So
that.
just pops in between them, like, and goes, his room was the living room anyway, right?
How do you not make any sound when you walk?
How do you have such bad ears, I might ask?
I was just about to say, he does make sound.
Where the fuck did you come from?
She was here the whole time.
I've been here the last 10
What?
minutes. I just had a peppermint tea from EOS. What are you talking about?
We've been talking for 10 minutes. He's just been talking to you. He's just a bad memory.
I love the idea
Flash
as well.
forward, Dash has brain injuries.
Oh yeah.
I
that
love
was
the idea
evident.
as well. The Adriana literally just got there, did this, and then EOS went along with it and was just like, okay, we're gonna fucking wreck with his head now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Dash like believes he has Alzheimer's for the rest of this campaign because you guys are just fucking with him.
Okay, I gotta decorate room. Hatsu, Dash, Amidra, do you, any suggestions for how we do this?
Yes. Don't put too much by the window. Leave that clear.
She also
A bit
hates leather. I'm just kidding.
A bit of leather, maybe just by the bedside locker, just as kind of a scent of it. The dahlias, put them in a position where when she enters the room, it's the first thing she sees. As the moonflower, have that as the last thing she'll see when she's leaving. Yeah, I think the rest you can use your imagination then from there.
Okay. So based on that, first thing I'll do then is, with a bit of strappings of leather, make like a rope type thing that hangs down and it holds the moonflower. That's going to be on the back of the door. So when you're leaving, you see it goes past you. Fantastic. Directly opposite the door as you enter, then on the floor in a little empty T-Mug is going to be... What was the first thing you wanted to see again, Dash?
The Black Dahlia.
Black Dahlia, that's going to be there. Leather, I'm going to use it as like coasters, stuff underneath little books. I will leave a list of books on the pillow, just with recommendations from the library and where they are in the library if she ever wants to go there. As for the rest, and I'll follow Dash's general direction for decorating the room and not to obscure any entryways in the window too much. But I will ask. Yeah.
Would you like to know what it looks like in there?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
It is a forest. The room seems to be a bit glitched, as if it's been stretched a little bit further than it can go. There's a strange fusion of furniture, rustic furniture, and trees, old growth trees. Mannequins standing near a large, like, functional table, a bowl of cherries on it. Their faces are all turned away from the door.
Oh.
There are blue ribbons and ropes and strings that run along the canopy of the trees that end at a nest shape at the edge of a clearing. And while it looks distant, and again, this is probably part of the glitch, there's a break in the woods, and there's a small cottage on the top of a hill. White dots of sheep. You can hear bird song, but it's as if you've trained a bird on like a scratchy record. So they're all singing. There's all sorts of birds. You don't see them. It's just bird song in the air.
Cool.
They're all singing these old folk songs from the northeast of Alboris. Festival songs, dirges, songs about life. It's a little eerie, but more so are the piles of skulls crushed. There's puncture marks on these skulls. Scattered throughout the forest are weapons of war from these things you'd find in a museum, probably on display from another time. Rusted, bearing the marks of Gareth Ironhelm, heroic markings of a people from hundreds of years ago. Scattered, leaning against trees, rusting. And an elk skull. Its horns, the span of its horns are much larger than you would find in normal elk. Some kind of giant elk. And pierced on its horns are more than a dozen skulls as well. And on some, where the skulls have fallen off, are tarnishing crowns. This out skull is suspended upwards in the blue lines and ribbons that run through the canopy of the trees. And every now and then, like a glitch, in and out, another like straw mannequin or a wooden mannequin, just the corner of your eye. Their face is always just slightly turned away to where you were to like move to walk around, like a painting, you know, where the eyes move to follow you. It's just like the head continues to move around as if the face is just around the corner. Featureless. And in that cacophony of sound, there is still a very strange sense of eeriness. A very weird smell of smoke. And leaves that reflect autumn.
Io, slightly aghast with what she's encountering, takes note that the instructions on how to change this to Lissa are on the part below the books on the piece of paper. And she's gonna just look around, look at Dash, go, there's your artifacts, there's your mulberry trees, I'm gone. And she's out the door.
Yeah, I think we just leave the stuff for Lissa and let her choose where to put. I didn't know we could do this much.
Didn't know I could make my room bigger.
What goes on in Weslin's head?
I kind of want to know, but also...
2 gimps walk
I'm
past.
good. I'm good.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Do you have a pen? Should we just leave a note for Lissa that we brought her this stuff and the rest is Wes?
She's smart enough. She'll figure it out.
She'll figure it out. Maybe we just leave these on.
Atsu turns around one of the trees and he goes, you guys know that we can change the room, right?
I still could make it bigger, Hatsu.
Not like I feel like Lissa might like this vibe.
Oh, the death.
She's death and the nature.
You guys told her she should wait because you're gonna prepare the room and then you leave the stuff and tell her she should do the room. I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, I'll rip off the part about changing the room. She can keep the book list.
Yeah.
She's your friend.
I don't even like it that much. I'm just
I love this idea that once a week Eos goes around to each of our doors and slips a bit of paper under the door, which is the next book review list for that week. It's like
I'll do that happily, yeah.
It's like a book newspaper type thing.
Eos's newsletter. Yeah, cool.
But John, genuinely though,
that was
holy crap.
Yeah, take your inspiration, man. That was absolutely
brother,
amazing.
you made the Star Trek holodeck in your room.
Yeah, I've been waiting for a while to see if you guys would ever open that door.
This is Star Trek? Take the inspiration back. You kind of have
Star Trek. Already have
it is a
inspiration.
holodeck with the glitches and things. It's so cool.
It was Star Trek, so it's fine.
Oh, okay. Keep the inspiration. Keep the inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm a big Star Trek fan.
While they were
love Star Trek.
Yeah. Die young and do bad.
Yes, take inspiration too. That was very quick and very funny.
While they were in that room fucking about, because they said that this was for this room now, Madriana went out to her room, opened the double doors and went out onto the balcony. The wings flick out as they normally do, but this time it's a little bit more stiff because she hasn't got them out for a while now, so she's kind of having to limber it a little bit more. Right. And then I'd like to, well, first of all, we have to, Assassin's Creed dive off the balcony.
Hell yeah.
Go into the glide.
Oh, of course.
Have to, it's mandatory. And I want to see if I can find a couple of things. One, I want to see if I can find some, the thinner branches on a tree that you can flex and stuff like that. She wants to grab a handful of those. She wants to grab some vines. And then also I want to see if I can find some crow's feathers.
Okay.
Specifically jackdaw feathers.
On the jackdaw or off the jackdaw? Are you going to grab a bird?
No, if I can find a nest, I can grab a few. I mean, if I'm flying past one, I might, pluck a couple,
Absolutely. All right, so...
I can still fly and use my hands. The bird can't.
Madriana, I need 3 rolls from you, please.
Madriana pisses off the Raven Queen. Yeah.
I want an acrobatics check, a sleight of hand check, and a stealth check, please.
Acrobatics will be a 13. Sleight of hand, hopefully will be better. Natural 20. And what was the last one? Stealth. That would be a 9, which turns into a 17.
Goddamn. And Madriana, you step on the balcony, you unfurl your wings, and you look down towards the ground. Your wings are... It's stiff. You need to stretch them and kind of flex the muscles a little bit. This is something you haven't done in a minute. a side of you that you rarely let out. And as such, you're feeling the punishment of that. But regardless, you take your first step forward and you begin to plummet and plunge towards the ground beneath you. It comes at you faster and faster, but the wings don't span out. They just stay at your back, and you let the speed gather and build up, and you close your eyes. You don't need to see what's coming. And with that, you simply open your wings as you plummet down towards the ground and catch yourself in that sort of draft, the updraft of the wind. And with that, you correct yourself and fly off into the sky. There is no worries at all about being caught as you soar above everything. You spiral down and fly in between the trees. You just open your hands and collect as many sticks and leaves as you can. You just grab them as you fly through, and then you fly back up into the sky. And as you do, you soar through a flock of birds that are there, and with your sleight of hand being a nat fucking 20, you have no issue reaching out. The birds don't even notice as you focus on the dead feathers, the ones that are already falling out, and you simply just take the feathers as you go. In this case, jackdaws. With your acrobatics, you got a little bit lower, but it's not a problem. You managed to make your way through all of this without causing too much fuss or ruckus or anything like that. It's not that difficult. Where do you want to go, and what do you want to do? You're still flying above the woodlands.
I'm gonna soar for a little bit longer. I'm enjoying the sun on my wings, feeling that air flow through each of the feathers. Just enjoying being able to breathe freely, because this is also an air that she's never smelt before. This is a clean air. This is a fresh air. This is an enlightening air compared to what she's used to. She'll do a few circles around the school, and she'll eventually come to a rest up onto the rooftop, which would be above her door and essentially above where Lissa's door is. And she's sitting there and listening to the kind of the end part of that where Hatsu's like, you know there's bigger rooms, right? This kind of thing. And they're arguing about how to change the room. And I essentially want to make her a dream catcher. So using the branches, like twist them in, and using the vines to tie them, and also to create the netting on the inside, but with leaves rather than just the vine. And then have the jackdaw feathers hanging down. And the reason I picked jackdaw ones is because jackdaws are black, but with a grey, like almost pearlescent flick towards the end of the tail. So just like all of us, none of us are perfectly how we should be. So there'll be 3 of them hanging. So, the 2 and then the one in the center lower down.
Okay. So you build this kind of beautiful, call it a display, I think is a fair word, in your room, something that's more natural to the island too. You're not summoning this stuff in, you're not requesting this stuff to be here through magical means. You went and got it yourself. So there's a slight sense of accomplishment, I think, in that too, especially because you used your wings for that as well. And even though it's something that point of pride will only ever be known to a Madriana, I do feel it's important to highlight that. I think that's a really beautiful and poignant thing for her.
And then once I've built this dream catcher, I'll walk in to these guys, like trying to work out what to do with this room, and literally just above the bed, she'll pin it so that it's like dead center to the bed.
Nice.
And hangs there. She won't say anything to these guys because they're arguing and being stupid and stuff. The other thing is that she hasn't actually put her wings away.
Oh shit.
She just
Dash and Hatsu will definitely see that.
What Dash?
Eos and Hatsu will definitely see that.
I've seen them before.
That's a they.
She's like, they're not out wide and stuff. They're tucked, but they're not in.
Hatsu would definitely notice it for sure. Eos, I would say as well, but Because it's not a massive passive perception, you need to see that, but Dash, your passive is just terrible, so yeah, you definitely don't see it.
I think Dash might actually just kind of not realize the significance of it, because, you know, she's rescued him before, so he just kind of
acknowledges it, but not really. It's somewhere in the back of his head, like, you're just used to it at that point. I feel like Dash, if there was one meme I could have for Dash, it would be what? Like that meme of just like the HWAT, because I feel like there's just nothing in perception, so it's just I love that so much.
Okay, so John's shirt and merch is gonna be what, and Dash is gonna be what?
What? Yeah.
We can make that happen.
We get some variety. What's going?
I think the meme best for Dash is the Travolta one. You know, the like
one, yeah. Just like looking around. That's my whole life. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so then the Madriana will go back into the kind of common room, and just kind of like sit there and wait for these to be done, kind of thing. And she does find it awkward sitting though. That's one thing she's never really been able to master, but that's why she's always preferred the rooftops, because like there's no back to the rooftop as such. So
Ryan, how far down her legs do the wings reach? Is it like below the knee, or?
So, well, you've never seen a topless, so you wouldn't know exactly.
Well,
but
I'm not asking, but yeah.
Where the wings come into the back, they would basically come in. The top part would come in where the shoulder blades are, just above the very top of the shoulder blades. But there's actually like a secondary spine that leads from each of the wings as a V shape into her lower back.
Okay.
But
it's actually like
think of like a wishbone on your back, like that kind of thing.
Got that. Okay.
Going up, not going down, kind of thing.
Got.
The actual wingspan is about 8 foot.
Crikey.
And each wing would, like, if she had them, like, say, straight out shoulder length, the wing would be from her shoulder length and reach down to probably just above her knee. Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
They're quite big. Yeah.
For sure. That's amazing, man. God damn.
Terrifying. Yep.
And of course, actually, there's Slate noticed. I know Slate noticed. I can't remember who else, but there is also on the top of the right-hand wing, there's a slight bend in the bone. It's not.
We're showing that to Eos in the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Eos then. Yeah.
So yeah.
Fantastic.
But on that, I do have a question for one of you. Slate, have you made up your mind?
What I've been doing is obviously sitting and thinking through all the permutations of the what ifs and what have yous and what could possibly happen. While I was doing that and time was passing, you had said that the book had spoken to me a couple of times and was saying sort of, you know, kind of like whatever you've ever wanted, whatever you desire type of vibe. Yeah. So I suppose what I want to do is I want to
What the hell was that? What the hell? Whoever didn't hear that noise, your microphone just went crazy. Go ahead.
What I want to do is I basically want to tell the book that I want to try something and for it to trust me. And what I want to do is take my rapier, and if the cover of the book has anything on it, so you're talking like, I don't know, gems, buckles, a piece of the cover, something, it doesn't matter, something, if I can take a piece of the book any small piece of the book. So it's not from the interior of the book, it's from the edge of the book, from the top of the book. So I'm not technically touching it myself, but I am removing a piece of it. Small, very small piece of it.
How are you asking the book?
I am a couple of feet away, but still reasonably close. I would be calm and relaxed. I would tell the book that I want to try something, and that if it wants this relationship to grow or be symbiotic, then at this next step it has to trust me, and then very gently take it out and sort of gesture to it so it sees it coming. And then basically what I want to do is, with the one hand take off the piece, and with the other hand take something small of mine, a coin, a plain ring, something, and make an exchange. A small piece for a small piece, one to the other.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. You're not getting a response from the book, so you'll have to take that risk if you wish to take that risk.
So then before I do it, I'm going to say to the book, I don't know if this is going to work. What I want to see is if I can hear you and you can hear me when we're apart. And then I make the gesture again, and then I do it.
Okay. So you're putting... So if I understand correctly, you're putting a ring down, you're going to rip a page out of the book, is it?
It doesn't matter. It was something from the cover I was looking for, like if there was a gem, a buckle, a piece of the cover, something that I could nick off it without having to touch it, open it, like physically grasp the book, but something that I could take a piece, like a dissection, like a little piece off the top, something that might be removable. I don't know what the cover's made of. I don't know what's on it. That's why I'm saying as vaguely as I am.
Yeah, it's not leather bound. It's more like an aggressive flowing liquid at all. Like it's not quite like a flat book, if that makes sense, but in the middle is a metallic skull. But if you do try and pry that off, it doesn't come. So you would have to like open the book. Yeah.
I open the book.
That was a real mixed reaction. I know if you're listening to the podcast, I'm so sorry, but everybody's face had a different response there. That was wild.
I love you, my fellow chaos monkey.
Chaos monkey.
The Daleks are in busy. Your mic is busy.
Oh, is it busy? Busy.
Busy. Exterminate.
Exterminate.
He turned into a warforged. Come on, guys. Get it right.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Doing his exterminate. Yeah, doing his best Lunacy impression. Armad in chat. His first character was a warforged. Yes. So you open the book. The pages aren't words. They're moving images. One side shows a cold prison cell, you strapped to a bed. A cold boat, you huddled in a corner. The other side shows the bustling streets of a city that you have never seen. Stands as far as the eye can see. The buildings are tall. The streets are stunning. 4 tall statues stand above the city. As you walk down it, blonde flowing hair, beautiful towns. You look incredible. You feel incredible. And the more your eyes flick back and forth between the left and the right, you realize that a decision needs to be made as the pictures become almost still. You can learn more about either side, but to do that you have to commit to it. It's not as simple as just taking a piece of it. It's not as simple as just pulling yourself away from it. Things that you want are right there in front of you. You're looking at them, you can feel them. As you look on the left side, you feel cold. You feel the water splashing against your face. You feel the cold walls of the prison emanating this almost lifeless air against you. And on the other side, you feel the warmth. You feel the sun on your skin. You feel the hair blowing against your face. You feel alive.
Have you ever opened a box of chocolates or something that you were supposed to keep or not supposed to touch, and you tell yourself, I'll just have one, and then you have one and you think to yourself, well, I've already opened it, like I'll just have another one, and then as you're eating you realize you've gone quite far, and then there comes a point where you kind of think to yourself, I really have to stop this, I can't go any further, and then that little voice goes, or you could just finish it and get another one. I think that's what would happen. I think, you know, getting that little taste, getting that feeling myself going down that rabbit hole. I think I'd be 3/4 of the way through that box of chocolates before I realized. And I feel like, you know, it would be one after the other, after the other, after the other. And even as I thought it, I'd still be doing it. And I would just go with it.
So you're picking up the book?
Picking it up, licking it, holding it tight, like I'm in. You know, the pages are turning, and the more it shows me, the more I can't stop. It is literally the book I cannot put down.
New York Times bestseller.
Bring me home, Slate, and I will teach you everything. I will tell you everything. Bring me to Eos, so she may set me free, and everything you've wanted will be yours.
That's where we'll pick up next week.
Bring me the book. Bring me
You
the
don't
book.
know what you did. You don't know what you did. Boreas Fireballs was just an aperitif to what's going on
I'm
next.
gonna read a book. Chapter 1.
I can see how long people have played with me by their facial reactions. Because it's like a journey happening on your faces, man. I love this.
All you're gonna hear Eos saying is, with a pinch of blood, do what you weren't able to do. Yeah. Boo, 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 boo.
All I'm going to say to the audience watching is Roper flat out refused to give me a deck of many cards or many things, whatever it is, because he knew I would fucking pull them. He flat out refused to give them to me ever.
Did not. They were in a loot pile about a year and a half or 2 years in, and they were in Gregor Eisenhorn's inventory for a very long time. And a second deck of many things showed up, and I believe Jay had them. So,
yeah, neither of them would give them to me.
That's not on me. They were in the campaign, man. Let's be alert. For those watching on YouTube, there will be a post-show separate upload. We really appreciate it. Those of you who are YouTube members, thank you so much. You do get them early. I will edit this probably tonight or tomorrow morning, so it'll go up tomorrow. Those of you who are not members, you will get this obviously every Wednesday as you normally do. The post-show goes up at about 3.5 hours after the main one. It basically goes up at the same time as we do this stuff live, so it's exactly a week later. Those of you on Twitch, we'll be back in like 5 minutes. Won't do a boss battle for this one if that's okay, because there's no point. You will lose. You will lose poorly, and it'll only be busy.
You get nothing. You lose.
You get nothing. But we will pick it up in 5 minutes then. So we'll aim for about half, and we'll come back and we'll do our post show hosted by our main man Kian, and we will. I'll put up some memes from Shaq and everything as well. And we will we'll break it down, hash it out, and see how Richard's feeling about his choices.
Please ask questions in the chat.
If you have a question, exactly. Thank you. If you have questions,
queue up those questions. Have a think.
Yeah.
Exactly. Put it in chat, and I'll make sure that Kian.
Dash, why are you the way you are?
There's only questions that can be we actually can answer, please. Perfect. All right, we will be back shortly.
I'm not the chaos monkey anymore.
Take care.